criticized a little bit more for being hypocritical because their guidelines are a little bit more clear for others. If you don't put your guidelines out, it's hard for somebody to see how hypocritical you're being. I guess our job as Christians is not, to work towards eliminating our hypocrisy, but to take that gap between what we think and believe and what we actually do and bring it closer together, to minimize that hypocritical side of us. So I'm not a great traveler in reality. I find myself as a tourist, but I don't want to deny that I have led a life in the direction of Christ for the last 8 years. And for that, I stand before you today, about to graduate college. I'm not sitting in jail doing drugs or something else I may have found myself doing if you looked at me 8 years ago. But I'm not perfect. I have so much room to improve. And I look forward to walking on that journey, to following more closely. Nietzsche, who was not a Christian, but what I love about Peterson is that he uses his example, this quote that I'm about to read, as the basis for his book. Nietzsche says, "The essential thing in heaven and earth is that there should be a long obedience in the same direction. Thereby results, and has always resulted in the long run, something which has made life worth living." So I ask you, what has made life worth living, and are you willing? Are you really willing to get uncomfortable, to be risky, to abandon your comforts, to live simply so others can also live simply, and to follow more closely? Thank you.
We're going to sing a hymn that may be familiar to some of you, hopefully. And in the middle, Sydney is going to speak in a language that she encountered in Mexico. It is, why don't you tell them about the tribe? Okay?
Yeah, sorry. Forgot about that part. Am I here? Yeah. The Mayan village that I've been to in Mexico, they speak Saltal there. Actually, what's funny is the last time I preached or gave a message, per se, was in this village. I was leading a group of high school students, helping lead, and the pastor decided not to go to this village, and we show up, and the guy's like, "Oh, so who's going to give the message? We're going to do a service, right?" And I just thought I was leading a VBS program that I had put together. Next thing you know, I'm standing on the pulpit trying to give a message from Matthew on the bread of life, while some woman's breastfeeding her child, and all the men are in long hair and dresses. It was definitely a different experience for me. But these people in this village speak a language called Saltal. And so I wanted you guys to be able to experience a little bit of that language, because I doubt anybody ever heard of Saltal? I didn't think so. I think it's just cool to see different believers also practicing the same songs we do in different languages. So I can't sing to save my life, so I'm not going to pretend to try, but I'll try to read it to you guys. And this piece right here is a hand woman traditional garment that they'll I don't know how you call that, but they'll put it on their clothing. They'll sew it on so it becomes part of a dress or something like that. Anyway, go ahead, Carrie Ann.
Okay. If you would stand, we're going to sing 2 verses, and then we'll listen to Sydney sing through speaking this language. Nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to
Yash no pohon kawal ta atoho. A wuunon kawal kashem a woko. Su tesponshan kotan chai I bon mel otan. Ach amena chuchan tavan ayat kawal. Mayuk pihil kawal. Mayuk kutsil. Yash loiloiwan kotan kawal. Helban kotan kawal. Abon ash kush lehal. Hauk meai skoplal. Te skolel chu hulel.
Steps unto heaven, all that thou sendest me in mercy given, angels to beckon me nearer, my God, to thee, nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee. Then with my waking thoughts, bright with thy praise, out of my stony griefs, Bethel I'll raise. So by my woes to be nearer, my God, to thee, nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee.
Sydney, thank you so much for your wisdom, the depth of your wisdom. Many of us start out in life as folks who are tourists. There's a big world out there to go and see. And sometimes we find ourselves at places in life where we can no longer be a tourist, we have to be a traveler. And thank you for making us aware of that, because God calls each of us to different places to do different things, and you never know when God's going to call upon you and say, it's your turn to preach. And you can do that and do it well. Friends, go forth today. Rejoice in the power of the message that God has provided for us today. Know that wherever you go, God is with you. Celebrate that as you journey, as you are tourists who become travelers. Go forth. Amen.